Hey. This is Individual Perspective Podcast, and this is your host, Daris D, McKinney, and we are back again. We are. Fourth part of our inauguration ceremony coverage. Yes, I'm covering it because they cut my stream, and plus I want to make sure that Individual Perspective Podcast has a reaction to the inauguration that's accurate and represents me and what I would like to say about it. So we're pretty much almost through it all, and then we're going to get to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about the whack ass loss of the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. I know I'm holding on to my rant about that, and I will make enemies. I don't care. Okay. In addition to that, we're going to catch up on some of the crazy stuff that's going on in the news. We had a major plane crash that happened last night. So I'll hurry up and get this cleared out today so we can kind of just do some, like at least some pop-up reactions to that. In addition to some of the cabinet is going through their confirmation questionings and stuff. And votes. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's morning. I've been out early since 5 o'clock this morning, so I'm getting back into the studio. But yeah, I haven't had a cup of coffee all day for the last maybe about 5-6 hours I've been going, and I haven't had a cup of coffee, so I gotta get it. I got a cup of Joe now. I just got it. Oops, the camera right there. Just got it. So I just wanted to let you guys know what the situation is here, and while we're covering it, we're going to make sure that individual perspective, where we have the voice of the time. So when people look back on this, if I ever get some viewerships and we look back on the work and the commentary that I have given, it'll be a little bit more fruitful to longevity purposes. Okay. So, we left off at where the festivities, after the luncheon of the inauguration, and then we were going into the president. They call it the first honor, and we're gonna jump straight into that. But I'm gonna take a moment and just kind of talk to my viewers. How you guys doing? Good morning. As I go through even the trials and tribulations and the progress and the upheavals that I have to go through for my accomplishments, I'm a filmmaker, and I know, to most people it's a pie in the sky thought process, but I think if you do the work and you apply really efficient purpose to what you're doing, then you can accomplish the journey and the accomplishment of a filmmaker. And it's my whole life. I've done it when I was a little kid. I was directing. Then we would come home from school, and I would direct all the kids in the neighborhood to our own made-up TV show where I would place everybody. I would direct it. Everybody would do their part. I would kind of pause everybody so it can go to a commercial break. And I will do this when I was really young, and I started writing really detailed scripts and stuff like that, and middle school and everything like that. And it's just been always with me all the way into my adult years, where it's never software, never development in the editing to software development or graphic design or audio capturing that I didn't study and master, and not only be a legend in my own mind, but go out and utilize it and use it and be effective to someone else's production, to someone else's vision, to the public's or the perception of someone else, to say that I succeed and I failed and I accomplished. So now, last 6 years, I took the opportunity to make a name for myself. Really, it's now or never. It's do or die. So I ended up going out and instead of getting fixated on a movie, I would do what it takes to get that movie accomplished, but allow myself to magnify the ability of what a filmmaker would do under the umbrellas of the big studios, or if he's independently. So because I'm independently, I can't just do a movie that's simple and I just did something like it's a school project. I literally had to do something that would live in the test of time, and at the same time as, under the constraint that I had done, it was a pretty decent project, pretty good films that I'd done. So I ended up doing about 6 films over the last, actually about 10 of them. 3 of them is not mine, it's not owned by me, but I've edited them, I filmed them, I directed them and stuff, but I just gave, they were in the service of someone else's vision. But my 6 films that I love, that my passion, that my level of competitiveness in out of the box thinking and bringing something to the table, even in the black cinema and the community, you're about to be presented those movies in this first quarter. So I'm kind of doing a release from now into the next 3 to 4 months. So I'll say about end of April, everything should be pretty much in the platforms, streaming platforms hands, so you guys can enjoy it and watch it and everything like that. So I mention that because we look at what Trump went through to become president and to be reelected, and in the midst of trying to get reelected, for him to not lose his whole company, like for his family not to lose their stability, their economic wealth. He got grandkids, he have nieces and nephews, and he has like it's just like he's got a big family that loves him, that he did the best that he could to try to make a life for all of them, and they tried to take that away from him in the last quarter of his life, and it was all because he decided to be a citizen and run for the presidency. And that is not the choice of the citizens, it's the choice of the political establishment. And just that ideology and an ideological point of view, he had to fight, and he had to spend about $1 billion to protect himself. Now, me and you will never have $1 billion to protect ourselves. But if you want to know what it takes for you to protect yourself against judges, district attorneys, USA attorneys, crackhead ass, dumb grand juries, the whole point of being a grand jury is that you think bigger, smarter, and more efficient than the average everyday American person that will be a case jury. Why? Because a grand jury means that you need to vet and you need to hold the prosecutors accountable before they indict somebody, before they could go and arrest people, before they could destroy people's life. A grand jury is supposed to vet the prosecutors and their evidence to make sure that it has a purpose of being prosecuted. But we adopted a psychological manipulation from our elitists that a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. And it allowed for our terrible judicial system. We are fools for believing in our judicial system now. It's garbage. And if you never knew how much of it's garbage, watch how they used it against Trump over the last 10 to 12 years. And I don't care if it's black people doing it. I don't care. My freedoms is only valid and it's only my freedoms if it holds up to every other citizen. If the Constitution protects every citizen in this country, that guarantees that it protects me. And if it doesn't, if it's inconsistent, if it's sometimey, if it's dependent on, we don't have a judicial system and we don't have a lawful government. So that's why we put Trump in office, and that's why we celebrate him. And the sad part about it is he's the most consequential president. Like maybe he was about 3 to 4 other presidents that was consequential. Of course, it's President Obama because it's the first Black American president. So you got to mention him. You got to mention Abraham Lincoln. You got to mention George Washington. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very, very, destructive presidents. Yeah, you could mention a few of them. You get what I'm saying? Jefferson. You get what I'm saying? You could mention Reagan. Reagan was a bad president. He was terrible. People don't know how much damage. We still trying to repair this country from what Reagan did. Really. Reagan is responsible for our open borders. Reagan is responsible for 9/11. Reagan is responsible for a lot of terrible stuff that we're trying to put a period on even to this day. That's how bad he was. But look, that's a whole nother argument. I know. Like I said, you guys got to look at all my podcasts. I go to Rumble, look up Individual Perspective. I got hundreds of hours over there. The stuff that I'm talking about here, you really got to give me the chance to communicate and listen to my podcast. I don't know if my voice is attractive to you guys or my visualization is attractive to you guys. But podcast is a audio forum. It was never meant to visually have to see people and give validity of the purpose of the podcast is what's going visually. It was supposed to be where you could be building a car, you could be building a house, or you could be doing coding on the site or software or whatever you're doing, and you could pretty much hear a podcast to your left or in some headphones or in a room or something like that, and you could kind of enjoy the commentary, but at the same time focus and be multitasking on what you're doing. So it was always an audio forum, and I always want you guys to remember that podcasting is an audio forum. So I'm just communicating my thoughts on different things, and I tell you, my thoughts are extremely objective. I give overwhelming objectivity to the stuff that comes out of my mouth. So when I say it, I know that it's going to hold up to scrutiny for decades to come. So if I say Reagan sucks, trust me, he sucks. Okay. But I do talk about it in detail on other podcasts, and I will do a Reagan ain't shit episode. Okay. That would be good for me to detail that. Okay. But look, okay, we're not going to talk about Reagan. We're going to talk about President Trump. And thank God for President Trump. He's everything that we needed him to be, even just if everything stops today. So now we're going to go into the actual, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go grab you guys. Oh man, let me see if I could do that without messing up the software. I wanted to get some clips from Biden flying off. And what was the other thing? It was something else that I needed to that I wanted to show you guys. President Biden departs the Capitol from the helicopter. Yeah, this is one. So I need to download this and show this to you. I hope this don't slow down my stream, because my stream is doing good. But sometimes when you start doing multitasking and stuff, it start doing weird stuff. So give me a second. It was this, and it was something else that I wanted to show you guys. What was that? It was something else. Give me 1 second. Let me think about it. The luncheon. Yeah, just a recap of the inauguration luncheon. Recap of inauguration. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I forgot to do this, and I had this ready for you. Recap of 2025 inauguration luncheon. That'd be a little bit better. Let's see. No, that's the first one. See, I put this up and they just give me okay, maybe this is it right here. This should be enough right here. This should be enough. Okay. Okay, so this would be enough to kind of bring you guys up to speed, because I want to make sure that we have pretty much everything that we would possibly need in this for time to come. I think that was the only thing that I wanted to bring back into the picture for this time that we're living in. So hold on a second. Yep, this is buffering a little bit, so forgive me, guys. It's because I'm multitasking and I'm doing some wild like stuff that I'm kind of messing with my ability to do a fluid stream. But it's for historical value, though, guys. It's for me to make sure that I'm communicating a really good podcast to you guys. So give me a second to. It's only gonna take a few seconds for this thing to give me these 2 clips. And once it gives me the 2 clips, it'll adjust itself back to nice fluid communication. Yeah, I kind of messed up and forgot to do this for you guys. I really did. It's doing some weird stuff now. So give me a second. Let me let the system catch up. You know, that's why I need your help. That's why you guys gotta show me some love and hit that Cash App. Not the Cash App. That Venmo and PayPal in the description area. Give me some, power to have a better process going on here. Okay, and it's gonna be worth it, y'all. The conversations I'm having, and I'm gonna bring some people in to kind of, cuss me out if that's what you guys want. If you want people to be able to catch some commentary about it. This is like a one of those framed. Let me see. I hate this. It's one of those those landscape, not portrait images. As commentary of the tell you, new age. It's like the Instagram imagery of it. But maybe this would be enough to just watch him fly off. And because the last one we showed they were walking over to the actual plane in the previous episode. But I want to make sure that you guys have it where you can see them fly off. Fly away. And download this clip. And then that will be it. It's about 8 seconds. Okay, 8 seconds. And we are done. Okay, we turn this software off so it won't bug us. We bring this one in. Okay, the luncheon is here. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go and look at this clip really quick for not for Biden taking off. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so that'll kind of give you, let you see some kind of presentation of him flying off, and we have it in historical value. Okay, and now we're gonna go a little bit to some of the little pomp and circumstances of the luncheon. Okay, so let's go to that. And the reason why I show you guys is because I want to have a complete historical value of me having a reaction, or individual perspective having a reaction to the inauguration of President Donald J. Trump the second time, because YouTube tried to restrict me, and I think we gave too much power to YouTube for our voice and everything. So every time I communicate here, I gotta take it over to Rumble too, because it's just like you gotta be able to magnify your voice and make sure that it's not been controlled. So here's the luncheon, and let's let this play out.
Did you hear Chuck Schumer's wife's name?
And then we just heard from the Speaker of the House. Please remain
standing for the honors and the invocation.
Let's listen in now for the invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the Vice President of the United States, ranking member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer and Mr. Fischer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance, accompanied by Mrs. Vance. Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the President of the United States, the Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar and Mr. Bessler. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump and Mrs. Trump.
Respect. May not like it, but it's the truth. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I wanted to kind of show you guys, so you can kind of have like a coverage of it and make sure that we present it to you, and have a totality of the events that was going on.
I have a feeling people are very hungry, so I'm going to get this started. Mr. President and Madam First Lady, Mr. Vice President and Madam Second Lady, my colleague Senator Fisher, distinguished guests including the Speaker, Leader Jeffries, and Senate Leaders Thune and Schumer. On behalf of the United States Congress, welcome to the 60th inaugural lunch. Big surprise, we are featuring Nebraska beef and Minnesota apples for dessert. We are here in Statuary Hall, where these luncheons have taken place since President Reagan's first inauguration in 1981, and where the House of Representatives once met over 150 years ago. That would be before you were born, Mr. Speaker. In 1864, after the new House wing of the Capitol was built, and in the midst of the Civil War, Congress dedicated this chamber to host statues chosen by every state. Walking into the hall, we all passed under the arch, holding the marble Car of History clock. The statue shows Cleo, the Greek muse of history, holding a book to record events as they happen. And as you can see, she's heard a lot of stuff. And as she rides her chariot forward into the future, she looks behind her to remember the past. She remains here as she has for hundreds of years, a reminder that history will remember the events of the present, and it is on us to write that history right now. Speaking of art, the painting right here before you, I chose this painting for this lunch this summer, and it's titled American Horizon. It's by Jane Wilson, who grew up on her family farm in Seymour, Iowa. Coming from the middle of our country, Senator Fisher and I both like the painting because the artist is from America's heartland, but the horizon could easily be Florida, Mr. President. I will also note that this is the first time in history we are featuring the work of a woman artist at this lunch, and we thank the Art Institute of Chicago for their assistance. Looking at the vast open landscape of this painting, we're drawn to the bottom of the frame where the land or the water, depending on where you're from, meets the sky, and the horizon endures. The enduring horizon is especially meaningful for us today as we mark our enduring democracy as we approach its 250th anniversary. It's a reminder that what's over the horizon is our next chapter. And it is my prayer that the people in this room can write that chapter together. I'd now like to ask U.S. Senate Chaplain Dr. Barry Black, and we thank God he is back with us and in good health, to deliver the invocation, after which lunch will be served. Thank you.
Let us pray. King of kings and Lord of lords, whose kingdom is above all earthly kingdoms, and who judges all lesser sovereignties. Look with favor upon President Donald John Trump and Vice President James David Vance. Empower them with the wisdom and courage needed for our times. Protect them from the vicissitudes and challenges that obstruct the making of a world of justice, peace, and righteousness. Lord, give them a deep desire to do their best for our country and world, and a determination to act in ways pleasing to you. Preserve their families in health and strength by your grace and power. Bless now this luncheon as each of us finds your grace sufficient for every need. We pray in your sovereign name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so that's pretty much the bulk of that situation. And kind of they had the luncheon, so I told you guys that I will present that to you so you can have a full presentation of the whole presentation and everything.
Amen.
All mine. All mine. Oh man. So letting them eat, and lady brings out
And thus begins
Trump's
the
Coke.
long-awaited Senate luncheon, which has been slightly delayed in part because of the number of extra speeches and.
Okay, we didn't need to hear anybody commentary, but the lady brings Trump out his Coke. Hope that she's the one that actually deals with his Cokes, so no poison. Okay, so that's the luncheon, and after the luncheon, they had the first honor, and we always see it, but I think it took a bigger toll this time, and presentation this time. So we're gonna go to the like I said, and that this obviously I gave you the beginning of the luncheon, and this was
At your seats as President Trump, Vice President Vance, the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, and the official party depart National Statuary Hall.
So this is when they were leaving, but I'll talk while I'm talking about this. So this is kind of the order, and I just wanted to make sure that I presented the luncheon and what the interactions was in the luncheon. And now he goes into the first honor after the luncheon. And the first honor is very interesting because I don't think it was captured like this in the recent times, because it's normally through the procession of the parade, but they kind of did it inside the facility because it wasn't going to be outside this time. So it really played a more pivotal presentation to it as he salutes them, and he walks in pretty much almost as a commander in chief to approve the presentation and the strength and the readiness of the Navy and the military and the Army and all that stuff like that. It was really kind of cool, and I think it took in more meaning in this setting that they did. So we're gonna go to that right now. Awesome presentation. Beautiful, beautiful. Good presentation, and it's just.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
Okay, that's enough. Okay. I tell you, what happened to my control? What happened to my control? Okay, so now they're heading over to the arena. The Capital One Arena. We're gonna go to that.
Return. Hold. Stick. Mark. Ready. Down. Right.
So they're heading over to, so yes, because they don't have the parade and the street and everything, they're kind of gonna head over to the Capital One Arena in DC and everything like that. You know, I'm looking at my feed, very clean and clear and beautiful and sharp and everything on my system, but when I look at the replay of the actual presentation, it's got it very cloudy and buffery and like the pixelation of it, and I don't understand that, you know. But like I told you guys, we gave, and I blame the podcasters and social influencers for this. They gave too much power to YouTube and everything like that. That's why I never wanted to come over to YouTube. I wanted to be over in Rumble, but you're not guaranteed an audience over at Rumble. But I'm really not guaranteed an audience over at YouTube unless I break their algorithm. And the way that you got to break their algorithm, you got to be extremely overwhelming. You literally need to do about 3 to 5 episodes in a day, pretty much, you know, in order for it to kind of peak in their algorithm and beat their system and everything like that. And it's a lot of work, and if I gotta, I don't get paid doing this, so I have to go make a living, and I have to be productive in doing what I need to do for my films. So I can't always do like 5 hours or like not five different podcasts, but you need to really put about, I'd say, to really be effective on YouTube, you need to do about a good 10 hours of work on every day on broadcasting on YouTube. And it's a feat. It's a feat, especially if you're a person that's doing other things and you're kind of being productive in other ways and stuff. It's a hell of a feat. That's why multimillionaires and people that's got a lot of liquid, and they use hundreds of thousands of dollars to build their platform. They have that extra funding to sit around and do nothing but podcasts, you know what I mean? And I love it, and I think I'm extremely great at it, but I gotta fund it myself pretty much. So I gotta do multiple things to be able to have that ability. So this is them kind of going, heading over to the event. Let me make sure. Let me look and see. Okay, so yep. Now let me see if I can catch the presentation up to us where we at. Giving me a little buffering now. I don't know why. It's showing me that I got plenty of CPU, plenty of everything. So okay, now the cars are moving, and they're heading to the Capital One Center. And just like I said, we want to be effective. Even me as individual perspective podcast, I think this is a great podcast. I think I do really good coverage and kind of articulating the different situations that are being perceived and perception of things, and to make sure that we have a true perspective. Perception and perspectives are two separate things, and I think we live too much in our perception, and the perspective is not what we elevate. And perspective means it is what it is. It's the truth. So in that sense, that's what I bring this podcast to the forefront for, to be a little bit more honest, to have conversations of the everyday activity, and be very blunt and logical with it. And but I do need you guys' help. You gotta hit that like, you have to hit the follow button, and you have to subscribe to my channels here or at Rumble. Okay, either or. I say both of them. Do both. I need your support, and I need you in the algorithm, because that's how you guys will even be able to know that I exist, because they won't muzzle me, because they'll see so much demand. But no matter how many videos I make, no matter how many shorts I make, and thousands of people are clicking on it and they're watching it, and I'm not getting a lot of people to hit the subscribe. So I need you guys to hit that subscribe, follow, and like. Okay? And look, and don't worry about it. I'll do what it takes to make sure that I magnify this podcast. No matter what, I'll fund it if I have to. You know what I mean? I'm not threatened by people telling me I can't do something. I'm gonna do it anyway. And if I have to do it myself, I'll do it. Okay? So you hear people on the street applauding them. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it was too cold to be out there, but I truly think that it was some kind of report. It was something that they seen that his life was in danger even by the government. They didn't say it like that, but I think his protectees in the Secret Service or maybe somebody that really cared about his life that was in the midst of the Secret Service, they kind of seen that, hey, we can't secure you against the government attacking you. So if you're open, you're in the open and like that, the likelihood that something will happen, I can't tell you if the government did it or civilians did it, you know, or some radical person did it. So it's best for you to keep yourself enclosed and let us protect you that way. And I think that's the reason why they had it indoors and stuff like that. I think he had a major threat on his life, and they're not gonna tell us that, but it probably come out after his presidency that it was because major danger. You know what I'm saying? So and look, they spent a lot of money and power to hate him, to stop him, you know. So that's that. Okay, so we're kind of watching him head to the center. I want to see if what's in the next clip. Oh yeah, the Elon Musk situation. Yeah, I do want to talk about this. Yes, Trump was heading over, or during Trump's luncheon and all that stuff like that. Elon Musk was kind of talking to the crowd at the stadium, and they said that he did like a Hitler salute, you know. So let's check that out. They're at the Capital One Center now, heading in. But let's go check out the speech.
There are elections that come and go. Some elections are, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
Okay, so that was PBS clip, but they said because he did that, like, obviously he's a geeky, nerdy guy, you know what I mean? He's very smart and highly intelligent. He's not thinking of that's a similarity to Hitler. He was saying that his heart, I'm trying to make sure that I'm looking at the camera. He was saying that his heart goes out to the people. You get what I'm saying? That my heart goes out to you. But he didn't say that before he did it. He just did, oh, my heart. And people say, okay, that's a Hitler salute that he's doing. But really, he said, my heart goes out to you. And he didn't mean for it to look like that, but that's how the media took it. And that's how they elevated. So now, that's all they would be showing on the news reporting. But here's the full speech.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one, this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
Yeah, so let me play this clip because I think it keeps him on the camera when he's doing that little salute thing.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities.
And I wanted to show you that because it's like they said that was the Hitler salute, but he was just being pretty corny and dopey and just like a nerdy person trying to be cool and interactive with the people. There's an overwhelming rock star appeal that he's getting because he's campaigning with Trump. These are Trump's people. These are Trump's supporters, and they love Trump. And they look at Elon Musk as a person that helped him win the election and stuff like that. So they're giving that rock star love to Elon Musk. But Elon Musk is pretty, you know, he's great at what he does with SpaceX and Tesla and all the other stuff. But to convey coolness and a cool factor, he doesn't really have that. You get what I'm saying? But he is cool, you know what I mean? But at the same time, his interactive with the crowd, he just wasn't. I think he was kind of doing what he thought was kind of cool to say, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. You know what I mean? But it'd have been very Hitler-esque. You get what I'm saying? And now that's what they tried to tag him with. But then he was telling them, you know, like, y'all been racist and that's ridiculous. It's not what I was doing. So,
I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag, secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam! Yeah! How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. And I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys. So, I really will. So, and yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's going to be very exciting. As the president said, we're going to have a golden age. It's going to be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism, and this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys. Thank you.
And that's the whole speech and everything, so you can understand it wasn't about the salute. It was like, my heart goes out to you, and you know, he did it in a corny way, so it made it look like a Hitler salute. Okay, so let's get the president. I think this is him entering into the actual arena, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I want to look at this. Let's see this clip here. Yeah, I think this is them entering. Yep. Okay, so let's watch the clip that the president enters into the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, accompanied by the First Lady, Miss Melania Trump.
Okay. So that's them coming into the arena, and they kind of watch some parades and stuff like that. We're gonna jump through that real quick and show you, show you a HBCU parade. That was real important to them, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present a selection of participants for the 2025 Presidential Inaugural Parade.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now welcoming the Mississippi Valley State University Band. They're traveling all the way from Edabita, Mississippi. Look at this, gang. This is the Mean Green Marching Machine. They are proud to represent historically black colleges and universities at the 60th Presidential Inauguration.
let the horns play. It sounds a little clunky, you know, the horns and the stuff, you know, sounds a little clunky. I don't know if that was intentional, but it did sound a little clunky. Yeah, this is about I think it was about 13 minutes, really. Like, you know, how long was this? About 13 minutes. So, you know, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You guys, you know, let's just move forward, okay? It was good though. I wanted to give him a shout out on this, but
And then I have a very tall son named Baron. Has anyone ever heard of him?
yeah, he gave a speech, and then he was kind of bringing out some of the people that was captured in Israel, and their families represented them from the people that was for the October 7th attack. Then he was talking about his you know, Baron. And I thought it was a interesting situation with Baron and what's his granddaughter's name, Kai. So I'm playing this a little bit, and then we'll go to him signing some executive orders in front of the crowd, and then we'll head into the inauguration balls, and then we'll end this inauguration coverage and go to the aftermath.
A tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him?
Tall son named Barron. So funny. Barron.
Thank you. He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right, Barron? They were all good. He understood the market. Another famous one. How about Kai? Stand up, Kai.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Byron Donalds back there? Stand up, Byron. Stand up. What a future this one has.
So he's giving little shout outs to a couple of people entertaining the rally, and then he decided to do to give the people to keep the promises that he kept. He did about 200 executive orders, and he did some of them in front of the crowd. So let's watch a little bit of that.
The first is the rescissions of 78 Biden-era EOs and presidential memoranda.
You want to call it out? Do you want to say it? Do you want to say it?
Oh, if you want me to, sir.
Why don't you say what I'm signing?
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I have a pen?
The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately. Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly. Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Forgot my hat. Oops.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
So much noise. Give them to the people, all right? Those pens are worth money, y'all, so he's throwing them out there, but they worth money. You get what I'm saying? They're like, all you gotta do is hold on to them for about a quarter of a century, and then they're worth money. You know? Which I think he should have handed to them. I don't know why he threw them at them, because they got to fight over it. But he was, I guess he kind of knew that they wouldn't destroy each other for it, you know. So okay, so we're gonna do that, and then so obviously he's heading back after that. He head back to the White House, you know, and then he's gonna sign some more executive orders in the White House. So this is him for the first time at the inauguration, heading back to the White House where everything is set up for them to start living in it. And I really wanted to show you guys like a really long, detailed thing about how they prep the White House for the next president. It's actually construction and everything that goes into it. They literally gut it and set it up for the president. It's pretty crazy, you know. But he's heading back to the White House, and then he goes in and sign some executive orders and stuff like that. So I'm gonna show him showing some executive orders, then we're gonna end this episode, and then we're gonna come back to the next one with the inauguration ball, and that will be pretty much our coverage of the inauguration. So but we got a whole nother episode to do. I think this is gonna be the 5th one that we do, so we are going to 5 episodes. So of the inauguration ceremony. So that's them arriving at the White House, and as they enter, we'll go into him in the Oval Office signing some executive orders. Then we'll end this episode and then come back with the next episode about the inauguration ball. Okay, please like, follow, and subscribe, y'all. Like, follow, and subscribe. Like, follow, and subscribe, and show some love, and put $1, $2, $5 into the Venmo and the PayPal. All the descriptions at the bottom of the video, okay? Okay. Barron is so tall, man. Okay, there you go. Okay, the last clip.
If there ever was an image for the ages, the scribble of the pen, the pile of files, each one an executive order from the new president.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Each one affecting profound change.
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Each one a major story in their own right.
This is an executive order taking a large number of executive actions to secure our southern border.
Okay.
This was the end of a dizzying day. Look at the faces on his chiefs of staff. Then an impromptu news conference in an Oval Office that is now his again.
I'll be meeting with President Putin.
And hints of the future on whatever topic you choose.
You know, Gaza's interesting. It's a phenomenal location. On the sea, best weather. You know, everything's good. It's like some beautiful things could be done with it.
And then this.
President Trump, did President Biden leave you a letter?
He may have. Wait. Don't they leave it in the desk? I don't know. Oh.
The traditional handover letter
Thank you.
to Trump from Biden. Hours earlier, tradition had it that the two presidents, outgoing and in an Oval Office that...
Well, we don't need them to recap hours earlier. You get what I'm saying? We got, you know, we did enough coverage of it, you know, the pomp and circumstances, and a little bit of his speech and stuff like that, and the rally and all that stuff. So just wanted to show you guys him signing the actual the executive orders in the White House. That's what's important, and that's what we're trying to talk about. Okay, so that's him doing that. Okay, we'll see you in the next episode, and we're gonna end it right here. We're gonna come back with the inauguration coverage. Okay, check you out.